What song? Actually, that's a good question. What song at your funeral? What's the song? Because that was hers. What's the song you want played at yours? I have to think about that. And I'm actually not trying to be silly here.
Okay.
Because I could say Queensryche or something, but that's not what I'm going to say.
My dad would probably say Queensryche.
I just thought of that after I said it. But
no, you have Rush.
I'm trying to think legit. What would be? I would want to end on that song.
I don't think I pick a downer note. I think I pick a more like.
I heard the beginning of I just. There you go. For a second, it was the beginning of I Just Had Sex by the Lonely Island. I was like, oh,
it was a fucking ad. Everything has a fucking ad in front of it.
I know.
All the pallbearers are walking my coffin down the aisle.
And and nobody knows till the song kicks in that you have like LED built into the coffin.
Oh, yeah. My coffin at this point is spitting smoke out and has like strobe lights emitting from it. Right now, a giant rotating light globe is raising out of my coffin. And I'm being held like a marionette, lifted high above the chapel, flying above all the attendees of my funeral. Embalming fluid dripping on the heads of everybody.
The coffin should be the only thing lighting up the whole hall.
Yeah.
Nothing else is lit.
And whoever's doing my eulogy, they're all dressed like robots. Alright, so this continues to the cemetery where they're like leading me down to my grave plot. They're like throwing holy water on my casket. Alright, this is where they actually lower me into the ground, right here. Everybody who knew me is crying. My parents are crying. Rocco and Sean are crying. Jenny's crying. Jenny's crying really hard, actually, at this point. It's just so beautiful. But what nobody knows, I have one final surprise planned for all the attendees of my funeral. My casket lowers into the ground. They think they're never gonna see me again. But they notice right now, there's a fuse burning. The fuse leads into my plot. The fuse leads into my coffin. Sizzles down. It's coming within inches of my coffin. Jenny's starting to dry her tears. Sean and Rocco, they're smiling. They see the fuse. It's burning. It actually goes under the lid of my coffin. And they don't know what's happening now. Was it a dud? They look around to one another. Typical Derrick, keeping us in suspense. But smoke starts to billow out of my coffin. It's colored smoke! Purples and pinks and blues and green. Oh my god, my coffin is raising out of the ground. More smoke. People from miles away can see the colored smoke. It explodes! Balloons! Confetti! I actually rigged up my body with an android underneath my skin, and I'm giving one last dance, waving goodbye to my children. My children are so happy to see my reanimated corpse. Balloons. There's pizza. My dead robotic corpse is handing out pizza to people at my funeral. We're celebrating. And then I fall over dead and collapse into my coffin, and they instantly bury me right now with dirt, and nobody ever sees me again. The end. Everybody walks home. best funeral of all time.